The price of a silent oath. Who received that oath? Why it was paid today? When the answer was spoken, the town fell quiet. Tell me which city you are watching from. Write it in the comments. If you want to see how the silent vows of the past change fate today, do not forget to subscribe. Near the Montana border, there is a small town. Dust moves like a slow river along the main street. A rusty sign hangs over a gas station. At the far end stands a single-store wooden grocery. On its door, a faded American flag. On the window, a handwritten note. We are closing today. Thank you for your support. A man stands at the threshold. Late 50s, moving to 60. His name is Jack Mercer. Thin white threads in his hair catch the sun. His palms are cracked. There are coffee stains on his fingers. He breathes in. The bell over the door rings. A woman steps out. This is Eleanor Ruiz. She keeps the books for the store. Worry shadows her face. Jack. Tomorrow morning, the bank will send people. They will take down the sign. They will box the inventory. Jack nods. All right, I understand. Today is the last day. People pass along the street with slow steps. Some look in, some raise a hand, some turn away. Because when a store closes, a piece of their own past closes with it. Because here, every metal shutter carries the sound of an end. Jack goes back inside and straightens shelves. He touches each can with a careful hand. He runs his finger over labels. He wipes the dust. He remembers the boys who helped him build these racks. The day the schoolgirls bought gum and laughed at the counter. The storm night when he started the generator. The hour when the power failed and neighbors filled his doorway and he handed out bread for free. Eleanor comes in and shuts the cash drawer. Jack, let us make a last day discount. Maybe we raise some cash. Maybe something changes. Jack smiles. It is worth a try. He tapes a new note to the door. Last day discount. Thank you to this town. In the afternoon, a white pickup pulls in. The door opens. A tall man steps out. Suit jacket with road dust on the cuffs. No soft smile on his face. An official look instead. This is Dylan Bass, the bank field officer. Two more follow him. We will start inventory count. This is procedure. Tomorrow morning, we return to finalize closure. Jack nods again. Eleanor holds her breath. Her eyes drift to a gray metal box on the counter. The box is old with dented corners. On it, a red-taped envelope. On the envelope, a trembling line of ink. When the day comes, you will know it says. Children gather at the window by mid-afternoon. They press their hands to the glass. Elena waves them in. Last candy on the house, she says. They giggle. Yet in the laughter, there is a goodbye. Jack lifts a hand from behind the counter. His gaze slides away. It travels to another winter, another November night, a city after war. The corridor of a hospital, a narrow bed under dim light. On that bed, a face of 22, a name that no one in this room forgot. Liam Carter. In that room, two men made an oath. Voices shake. One was Jack, the other was Liam. That day, Jack said, "Brother, even if you have no family, you will have a town. Even if your name is not spoken, your work will be seen. In my store, a coffee will wait for you each morning. If one day someone forgets your name, I will remind them. If one day someone tries to end that coffee, I will not end." Daylight tilts, and the sky turns the color of rust. The main street glows with red. The flag over the door lifts in a thin breeze. Jack stands in the doorway and breathes. He pulls the metal box from under the counter. He takes the red-taped envelope in his hands. His fingers tremble. He opens it slow. A single page slides out. The lines are short. The handwriting is Leah. Jack, if you read this today, then I am gone, or you are fighting another battle. In this town, you will be defending more than a store. When that day comes, I will not be there. In this box lies a word older than us, older than our promise. My father's word, and his father's word, and the town's word. When a door closes, another door will open. Send a sign to the one who can open. That person passes through this road. Maybe at night, maybe after a month, maybe after a year. But they come. This town does not forget. You do not forget. Jack folds the page. His eyes burn. He opens the box. He finds a handful of old receipt books, a few photographs, black and white frames of the town before any of them were born, and a small brass badge, a star in the middle, letters worn to a whisper around the edge, almost unreadable. But Jack does not need to read. He has seen this mark before. He has carried its weight on his chest once. It is a silent call of a unit, and in civilian life it carries the same meaning. When called, we stand. Not that we do not come, but that when our time is asked, we are there. Eleanor steps forward and looks at his hands. What is that, Jack? Jack lowers a shoulder. It is a reminder of a promise. I have to call that promise back today. He reaches for his phone. He writes a short message. The name he writes to is not shown, yet the rhythm is a call. It is a call written to open a door against a day made to close it. He sends the message, breathes again, returns to the floor, and he and Elena keep ordering the shelves as if all is ordinary, as if closure will fade like a bad dream by morning. Headlights draw lines on the street as evening comes. A black sedan, a blue truck, a tired motorcycle. They stop at the store, doors open. A few people step in. They do not talk loud. They look at the shelves. They carry boxes with careful hands. A long line forms at the counter. Each of them buys some, yet they also do more. Each one casts a small vote for the past. Each one leaves a little share to keep this place alive. Eleanor is stunned. Where did these people come from? Jack nods. This town does not forget. When one thing closes, another opens. They taught me this long ago. Dylan Banks watches from the doorway. He puts his pen in his pocket. He draws a line in his notebook. Procedure is procedure, he thinks. Yet he looks at the inside crowd and the meaning of those ink lines lines blurs. Because the rhythm of heat does not fit on a form. Because the memory of a town does not live inside a column header. He steps in and meets Jack's eyes. Jack smiles. I know you will come for procedure in the morning. Today I am saluting my town. Dylan steps back out. He leans on the car door. He looks at the sky. The sun drops behind the far ridge. Night walks forward and the bell over the door rings again and again. Everyone buys some. Some take 2 gallons of milk. Some take beans. Some take only gum. Some leave envelopes on the counter. Short notes sit on those envelopes. The words are simple. This is our home. Do not close this place. Another says. The debt of Liam is our debt. Another says. I bought my first loaf here and I never forgot. Today I am paying my share. Elena stacks the envelopes in a box under the till. Her fingers tremble. There is a weight in her chest and at the same time a lightness, a kind of relief. A little after 9, the door opens again. Sheriff Cole Benton walks in with his young deputy. He removes his hat. He knows Jack for years. They greet with the ease of neighbors. The sheriff steps to the counter and brings out a notebook. In it, he has written small lines about this store over the years. A generator started in every storm. Blankets given out at the door in every cold front. Hot chocolate on Christmas morning for the kids. He closes the book and looks up. Jack, tomorrow morning everyone will be here. No one is arriving to pull down a shutter. I cannot say this in an official way. I do not need to. Tomorrow morning, the line of people outside will speak. Jack's eyes shine. He bows his head with us. Late in the night, the aisles grow quiet. The light over the counter dims. Elena sits. Jack goes to the back room. He opens the metal box again. He takes the badge in his palm. The cold edge of brass meets the map of lines in his hand. His eyes close. Liam's face rises and fades. The hush of the hospital corridor returns. The words they said echo again. If one day someone forgets your name, I will remind. If one day someone tries to end this coffee, I will not end. Jack closes his fist. He slips the badge into his pocket. He breathes deep and returns to the floor. He and Elena finish the last shell. Morning comes. The first light fills the main street like milk. The flag stirs. A slow river of people moves toward the store. Some with coffee cups. Some holding a child's hand. Some guiding an older neighbor by the arm. They stop at the door as if at a ceremony, as if at a graduation, as if at a wedding. But in truth, they stand inside a remembrance. They are calling a forgotten word back into the open. The sheriff stands in front, the fire chief beside him. In the back are teachers and nurses and farmers, and long haul drivers, the whole town. A table stands by the door, metal thermoses and stacks of cups. Elena pours coffee. She slides a small note by each cup. Good morning. A thin line under it. Silent oath. Dylan Banks arrives again. This time he is not alone. Another officer rides in the passenger seat. They park and stare at the crowd. They have not seen a morning like this. The word procedure sits on their tongues, but the sentence of the crowd is strong. The crowd says, this place does not close. If this place closes, we close with it. Because there is a word here. There is a coffee here. There is a childhood here. There is a winter light here. There is a summer loaf here. There is a name here. There is Leah. There is Jack. There is everyone. Jack steps forward with a small envelope in his hand. His voice is soft and clear. This town is my home. There is a promise left in this store. It has a price. But that price is not measured in money. That price is paid with memory. That price is paid by standing together. Everyone who stands here pays a part today. I pay a part today. In this store, a hot coffee will wait each morning for someone. Even if no name is spoken, it will belong to them. If one day someone forgets a name, we will remember. The crowd lowers their heads. A few wipe tears. Elena smiles with the kind of smile that comes at the end of a storm. The sheriff steps forward and hands a fold. Inside is a community fund note. The town council has started a special effort to keep small businesses from closing. There is one condition to use: community support. And today, this condition is more than fulfilled. Dylan Banks steps to the table. His voice is narrow yet respectful. We will need a short plan by procedure, cash flow, a path to stabilize. Jack nods and hands the notes he wrote last night. A small plan built with Elena, a call to the landlord for a rent reduction, an agreement with local diners to speed inventory turns, a community card for prepaid purchases, replacing the old cooler with an efficient model to lower power cost. Dylan takes the pages. A softer line appears on his face. Now we are talking. In the back, a table is open. The bank tablets are set down. A fast review begins. The sheriff and a council member witness the process, and for once the word procedure learns the rhythm of a crowd. By midday, the sun climbs. The crowd does not thin. Purchases continue. Lines at the counter bend like a river. Slips of paper bloom on the walls like small flags. Each note a thin light. One says, I could not drink this coffee because I owe someone. I want the town to drink it. Another says, my son got his first bike from this store. One wheel was bent. Jack fixed it and took no money. Now it is my turn. Another says, when the war ended, I was alone. I would sit with the lights off at night. One evening there was a knock. Jack brought soup and did not leave. He asked no questions. He just stood. Now I stand, and I will not step away from this door. Toward evening, the moment many have been waiting for us. One of the oldest in town, Ruth Walker, steps forward on a cane. In her hands, a cardboard box of yellowed photos. She picks one and lifts. A young man lies in a hospital bed. Another young man sits beside him and holds his hand. On the back, a single line. Silent O, Ruth says. I have kept this photo for years, because when this town knows something, it does not shout. It keeps it. And on the right day, it remembers. Today is that day. I am giving it back so it can return to its place. Jack takes the photo. His fingers shake, his eyes shine, but he does not cry. This is not an hour for tears. It is an hour for keeping a word. He sets the photo on the counter. He adds a new line to the back. A coffee will stand here each morning, even if no name is spoken. The owner is known. In this town, words are not lost. They only wait. When the time is right, they step out again. The sun fades, and the bell rings once more. A middle-aged man enters, calloused hands, a tired line on his brow. He leaves an envelope at the counter. There is one sentence inside. I am an hour late, but I came. Jack takes the envelope and nods. The man turns and slips into the crowd. Elena stops breathing for a sec because that sentence is an echo from another time. Because in this town, the ones who come an hour later always change some. Night settles. Street lamps glow. Store lights warm to amber. The stack of envelopes grows on the counter. Jack and Elena open them one by one. The dollars are not the true number. The true number is the total of promises kept. Jack closes the ledger. Elena breathes out. The sheriff sets his hat. The crowd gives a step of space. The flag over the door lifts once more. Stars appear above. The air cools, and a cup of coffee still sends steam into the air. Over the counter, Jack steps to the door. For the last time that night, he turns the key and pauses. He faces the crowd and says a short sentence. This place is not closing because it is more than a store. It is a word. Heads rise and fall like a tide. The door closes, and the bell gives one more ring. The town sleeps deep that night, and inside that sleep, there is a kind of wakefulness, because everyone waits for more, because everyone wants to wait without knowing who the coffee is for. Not knowing is part of the word. Curiosity holds people together. Curiosity heals. The next morning, the sun rises again. The door opens. The bell rings. Jack moves behind the counter. Elena turns on the light over the register. They pour the first coffee. They set it at the front. Beside it, a single word. Here, the first person to step in sees their face in the drift of steam. Maybe they do not speak a name. Maybe they bow their head and take the cup and step back out. Maybe they move down the aisle and choose a loaf. What they do is not the point. The point is this. The coffee is not ownerless. The coffee is a sign of a word. The coffee is the heartbeat of a town. And so a silent oath is paid today, because sometimes a promise waits for years. And even when no name is said, it finds the ones it belongs to. One day someone asks, who received the oath and why was it paid today? When the answer is spoken, the town grows quiet. Because sometimes silence is the highest form of respect. Because sometimes a single cup is as strong as a monument. Because sometimes what is protected is more than a store. Because sometimes a name is never lost, only waits. And when the hour arrives, it is remembered.